Hey, what's up, nerds? So, this has been just such a crazy day with Switch 2 pre-orders. It seems like everything went wrong, even though supposedly they were trying to make everything go better than it did with the Switch 1. And I guess time will truly tell on how many people were really able to get their hands on a Switch 2. But this whole situation was just crazy throughout the entire day. It's like every retailer had a problem with pre-orders. And I will give a disclaimer, and I'll get into this later. I actually did manage to get a Switch 2 pre-ordered. All right, I managed to get one, but I know that there are people who didn't. So, if you were like me, you might have stayed up until midnight when the pre-orders were supposed to open. And the first retailer, the one that I was hoping that I'd be able to get in and nab it right at 12 midnight, was Best Buy. And for some reason, Best Buy just didn't open up their pre-orders. And I don't really know even now what was going on with that. It just continued to say, like, coming soon on their website. Like, there wasn't even a pre-order button on there. So after I saw that, like, I kept refreshing the page, and eventually I was like, okay, it's been like 10 minutes. Let me go check another website. So I go and open Walmart, and I feel like when I first looked at it, it wasn't even on there. And eventually I managed to find it, and then it said, you're waiting in line. So I was put into a queue. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm being put into a queue. Hopefully that will get itself figured out. Well, no. I sit in the queue, and it had to have been earlier than 12:30 when I joined that line. And that screen never went away. And in the background, I'm pulling up Target. And at first, I thought Target was going to work because it let me add it to the cart. And it was showing this thing at the top of the screen, though, about some error, but it didn't say what it was. So I entered in my billing details and the shipping address, and I hit place order, and it didn't work. So out of all of the retailers, Target just basically crapped itself. Didn't even work at all. It's like they didn't do any preparations to have any sort of queue system or line or anything else like that. And then after that point, I was just like, well, I'm just giving up on Target. I'm continuing to watch Walmart. And then I go back to Best Buy. And the crazy thing is that it's now open on Best Buy. There's a pre-order button, so I'm freaking out. I'm hitting the pre-order button, and it says it's checking your account, and then it's like, okay, you're in line. So I'm like, okay, I feel better about this. I don't know what's going on with Walmart, but the Best Buy page is loading, and hopefully, I've had a Best Buy account for a while, so hopefully I am not too far in this queue. So I'm sitting in bed, watching these two pages to see if either of them update. And then I fall asleep. I was so mad in the morning. I just fell asleep. So I have no idea if any of those eventually would have given me the option to order it. I'm not sure. But honestly, I think the thing that makes this situation even worse is that when GameStop opened their pre-orders at 11 a.m., their site basically shut down. It was gone. Because I was actually looking at the website, looking at something else prior. Like, I had forgotten that they were doing pre-orders at 11 a.m. And I was just browsing the website. And then literally the second that the clock marked 12 or 11, the website kicks back with a Cloudflare error and says bad gateway. And it's just this constant cycle of where if I wait a little bit and then open a new tab, I can type in GameStop.com, go to it, and it will load the front page. And then I go to the search bar and type switch to, and it crashes again. It was the awfulest experience. I feel bad for anyone who didn't really try too hard to pre-order one earlier in the night and was hoping that GameStop was going to be their chance, because I guarantee you it wasn't. It was horrible. I mean, I don't know how anybody managed to get a pre-order at GameStop. And side note, their whole situation with in-person pre-orders was really confusing to me as well, because I actually went to do a trade-in the day before, and they had a sign on the window that said that they, how many units that they were going to have at that specific store. It was like 55 units. Look, I thought that Nintendo's whole goal was that they were basically mass producing these so that there would be plenty of supply for pre-orders. I thought that was the whole point, that they were trying to avoid another Switch 1 situation. So how come there's only like 55 units at a GameStop? I mean, I saw pictures of people who posted how many they had at their GameStop, and there was only like 33 at one of them. Like, that is going to get sold out so quickly. So what was the point? And I did manage to snag one. When I woke up at 7:30, and the first thing I did was I went to Walmart's website because they were offering like launch day delivery. And I went and looked, and it now let me pre-order it. It didn't put me in a line or anything else like that. So I pre-ordered the system. So I 100% have one. I checked it probably about 1,000 times throughout the whole day to make sure I was actually going to get it, and it's still there. So I'm all good. I'm all set. But it was literally just like an hour or two later when you could no longer pre-order at least the Mario Kart bundle on Walmart anymore. So it had sold out. And once again, I guess I just don't understand, because I thought Nintendo's whole point is they were trying to have more stock. They know that they're going to sell a lot of these. So how did they even run out in that short amount of time? I mean, I know that there's massive demand, but I thought the whole point was that you were hopefully going to be able to handle all of the pre-orders. It's just so crazy. And then it's like the official Nintendo store, of course, has their special stupid rules. So you don't even know until like the beginning of May if you're even going to get a pre-order opportunity from them. And in that way, I think it's even more confusing, because if you're, I actually went and registered my interest on the website without considering, like, I didn't realize how later it was going to be that store was going to be sending out emails. So there's probably going to be like many, many people who told Nintendo, hey, I'm interested in pre-ordering the Switch 2 on your website, who then went and got it in person. And if they went and got it in person, then they're just going to have a bunch of people that they're going to be sending emails out to saying, hey, you can order it now, but there's no point because they've already got one. And then it's just like, this is such a weird launch, and just a disaster from almost all, I swear, every retailer had problems. I mean, I had to use the actual website because the apps kept crashing whenever you tried to load the page. It's just a mess. It's all just a mess.